In the swinging 60s, the tobacco industry was on top of the world. Their secret? Targeting the most impressionable among us, children. With bright colors, catchy jingles, and even cartoon mascots, they lured in the young, creating customers for life. But why kids? Simple. They're easier to convince, easier to manipulate. Once hooked, they're customers for life. As the smoke cleared, a pattern emerged. These weren't just random marketing strategies. They were meticulously planned campaigns. The industry knew that if they could capture the hearts of the young, they'd have a loyal base for decades. But as we'll uncover today, the tobacco industry's influence didn't stop with just cigarettes. Beneath the surface, hidden from the public eye, there's a deeper, sweeter conspiracy at play. Welcome back to Informative Insights, where we unravel the hidden connections between money, power, and global events. Dive deep with us and remember, knowledge is the key, and we're here to unlock it. The 60s might have been the golden age for tobacco, but by the 70s, the winds of change were blowing. Public opinion shifted and tobacco's grip weakened. The era of free-loving hippies and rock and roll also brought with it a wave of health consciousness. People began to question what they were putting into their bodies, and the once glamorous image of the suave smoker started to tarnish. The damning research on the health impacts of smoking began to surface, and the once invincible tobacco giants found themselves on the defensive. But industries adapted, and tobacco, with its vast resources and cunning strategies, wasn't about to be left in the ashes. They had their eyes on a new prize: sugar. More addictive than many drugs, sugar was the perfect next step. It was everywhere, in almost every pantry and on every dining table. The sweet allure of sugar was hard to resist, and the best part, it was still largely under the radar. While cigarettes faced public scrutiny, sugar-sweetened products were consumed in blissful ignorance. And their first conquest, sugary drinks and fruit juices, perceived as healthy by the masses. These beverages, often adorned with images of fresh fruits and promises of essential vitamins, were a masterstroke of deception. Parents, thinking they were providing their children with nutritious options, were unknowingly introducing them to a new form of addiction. The tobacco industry, with its expertise in crafting irresistible products, was poised to dominate this new frontier. The stage was set for a sugary takeover, and the world was none the wiser. Of all the sugary treasures, fruit juices were the crown jewels. They were the Trojan horses of the beverage world. On the outside, they gleamed with promises of health, vitality, and natural goodness. But inside, they were often packed with as much sugar as sodas, if not more. Who better to exploit this duality than the masters of deception themselves? In strategic moves, R.J. Reynolds acquired Hawaiian Punch in 1963. This wasn't just a random acquisition, it was a calculated step into a market ripe for the taking. Hawaiian Punch, with its vibrant red hue and tantalizingly sweet taste, was already a favorite among households. By 1988, the stakes were raised even higher. Altria, closely linked to the tobacco giant Philip Morris, made a bold move by securing Kraft, the powerhouse behind beloved children's drinks like Capri Sun and Tang. With a whopping $13 billion investment, it was clear they weren't just dabbling. They were diving headfirst into the sugary abyss. The mission was crystal clear, using their tobacco marketing genius, the same genius that made cigarettes synonymous with cool, to push these juices to their favorite demographic: kids. Why kids? Because habits formed in childhood often last a lifetime. With colorful packaging, catchy commercials, and even tie-ins with popular cartoons and movies, these juices were made irresistible. Parents believed they were giving their kids a healthy treat, while in reality, they were serving them glasses of liquid sugar. The brilliance of this strategy was its subtlety. While parents would balk at giving their kids a cigarette, they'd happily hand them a juice box, unaware of the machinations behind the scenes. Have you ever been surprised by the sugar content in your favorite healthy drink? Share your experiences in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. But how do you convince the world that sugar-packed juices are healthy? The answer lies in the age-old blend of science and marketing. It's one thing to make a claim, but another to back it with scientific evidence. Tobacco companies, having mastered the art during their cigarette reign, knew exactly which strings to pull. They reach out to familiar faces, the very scientists who once championed the safety of smoking. These scientists, with their credentials and reputations, were the perfect front to give credibility to the industry's claims. With a few strategically placed studies, suddenly these sugary concoctions were not just tasty, but also beneficial for health. Rich in vitamins, a source of daily hydration, the buzzwords were everywhere and the public lapped it up. While the science worked its magic in the background, the marketing teams went into overdrive. Billboards, TV commercials, magazine ads. The sugary drinks were everywhere you looked. Celebrities endorsed them. Athletes swore by their energy-boosting properties, and before you knew it, these beverages became a staple in every household. The combination of manipulated science and aggressive marketing was a force to be reckoned with, painting a wholesome image of products that were anything but. Yet, mere visibility wasn't enough. The goal was a deeper addiction, one that went beyond just a habitual morning juice or an occasional treat. It was about creating a craving, a need that had to be satiated, much like the nicotine pangs of yesteryears. To achieve this, they delved into the intricate science of colors, additives, and flavors. Colors play a psychological role in our food choices. Bright, vibrant hues are often associated with freshness and vitality. By tweaking the colors of their drinks to be more vivid and appealing, they tapped into our subconscious, making their products seem fresher and more enticing. Additives, on the other hand, were the silent players. These were the agents that enhanced shelf life, texture, and mouthfeel. But more sinisterly, some of these additives had properties that increased the craving, making each sip feel like a drop of nectar, urging the consumer to come back for more. Flavors were to appease the resistance, natural flavors were enhanced, and new exotic flavors were introduced. Each sip was designed to be a sensory explosion, a delightful dance on the taste buds. The more unique the flavor, the harder it was for consumers to find alternatives, ensuring brand loyalty. But all these manipulations required careful navigation of regulations. With their deep pockets and influence, the industry found ways around the FDA's guidelines. By exploiting scientific loopholes, funding research to support their claims, and sometimes just old-fashioned lobbying, they ensured their products remained on shelves, unchecked and unchallenged. The stage was set, the trap was laid, and the world, once again, found itself ensnared in a web of sweet deception. As public awareness grew, the industry found itself cornered. The once loyal public began to question, to doubt, and the sweet empire they'd built was under threat. Their strategy? Misinformation. It's a tactic as old as time. If you can't convince them, confuse them. By pouring millions into skewed research, they aimed to muddy the waters. Suddenly, there were studies suggesting that sugar wasn't the villain it was made out to be. Maybe it was fats, or perhaps it was the lack of physical activity. The narrative began to shift, and the blame was suddenly deflected away from sugar. And when the scientific smokescreen began to thin, they played their trump card: guilt. They turned the tables and pointed fingers at parents. Wasn't it the parents' duty to ensure their children ate healthily? How could big corporations be blamed for choices made in individual households? By pushing this narrative, they not only deflected blame, but also created a divide among the public, further diluting the focus from their products. But as the saying goes, you can't fool all the people all the time. The mounting evidence against sugar and its ill effects became too overwhelming to ignore. The ultimate solution? A separation of powers. Food companies, realizing the impending backlash, began to distance themselves from their tobacco counterparts. It was a strategic retreat, a move to salvage their reputation in the face of growing disdain. Today, we stand in a world that's more aware, more vigilant. The years of deception, the countless ad campaigns, and the skewed research have taught us a valuable lesson. We've learned to question, to probe, and to seek the truth. The sweet lies of the past no longer hold sway, and as consumers, we're better equipped to make informed choices. The legacy of the tobacco sugar saga serves as a reminder of the lengths industries might go to protect their interests, often at the expense of public health. The intersections of money, power, and global events are often hidden in plain sight. Today's dive into the sugary world of deception is just one example. Stay curious, stay vigilant, and always seek the truth. If you found this enlightening, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more informative insights.